En garde. Prêt. Allez.
The first year I was president, they had to move, I think from Memphis, because they ran out of space. They couldn't host us, it wasn't big enough, their convention center. And everybody was, oh, we gotta come to Columbus. And after being here, they were like, oh, we'll come back. So it's nice to have the fencing community back in Columbus. The next generation of Olympians will be competing here in Columbus, and some of those athletes, the ones who didn't make the Olympic team for this year, they are competing to put themselves in a position to be on that next team. Fencing in the U.S. has grown immensely. We're one of the top 5, 6 powers in the world. In the Olympic movement, we're a gold tier sport because of our results. We took 3 home last Olympics. So that the expectation is that we will perform. USA Fencing is part of the United States Olympic Committee, and we're also part of the International Fencing Federation. You have many countries say, I want to host this kind of event, this kind of event, this kind. We have world championships. So there's a bidding process. Every year, the International Federation has what's called their Congress. And at the Congress, they take candidatures for events that will be coming. Junior World Championship, Junior and Cadet World Championship, Senior World Championship, Veteran World Championships. And they put a bid out. They say, this is why you should come to our city. We're easily accessible. We have great hotels. You want to come, and then they vote. Hosting these events is not a cheap undertaking. There are a lot of convention centers that cannot host us because of the amount of space required. They'll bring in 2 to 3 40-foot trucks, which have all of the competition strips on them. They will take 1.5 to 2 days to get that laid out with the strips, the carpet, all of the scoring machines, the wireless systems required to connect everything, and then they'll set up the armory because we're a combat sport, so your equipment has to be checked to make sure it's safe and is correctly scoring. So you'll have the armory, you'll have all of your vendors will be set up. So they look at the hosting, they look at the food, they look at all of those things that make it a good experience for those who are coming to the city. When you host an event like this and you have an athlete that comes, and especially if it's their first time, the most important thing for that athlete to continue is to have a good experience in the competition so that they want to come back. You have a national tournament staff, but then we have what's called our semi-commission or our armorers. They're the people responsible for the actual materials being in place. And then we have a video replay system group. They make sure all of that's in place. We have the medical people. They make sure they're medical. So everybody has they're the committees and commissions, and they're people who represent those as part of the overall tournament committee, and they're responsible for making sure that everything comes together. The people who actually do the work on the ground, they're all passionate fencers. And most of them are volunteers, and they just sort of get compensated for their time for doing what they are passionate about. So most of the people are from the sport, they have a passion for the sport, and they do, and they give back, and we could never do it without them.